What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for all you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now, today's video is going to be kind of fun. I picked 5 films, 5 horror movies I feel are criminally underrated. And whether that's the fact that you never heard of it before, there wasn't much of a mainstream push, or maybe you've seen it once and had a certain opinion, but these are my opinions, and I'm going to tell you guys right now my 5 horror movies I think are underrated, and you should check them out. First is the film I've already done a review on. This is, I believe, 1989 or 1990. Intruder, directed by Steven Spiegel. Now, this guy is a childhood friend of the Raimi brothers and Bruce Campbell, who both have cameos in this movie. Now, what makes this movie great for me is there's not like the biggest plot, though they have many subplots. It's not like, it doesn't come off as the biggest story horror film, if that makes sense. But these kills, man, this is a classic slasher. It takes place in Michigan in a grocery store on night shift. I'm from Michigan, and I've worked at a grocery store, so I can relate. But this one is a classic. If you want to hear more about it, check out my review on my channel. But yeah, if you want some really good practical effects, some good kills, this movie is great. So much fun. I love this one. Speaking of favorites, I have one of my very favorites, which surprisingly is so underrated. I have the Slumber Party Massacre, and I decided to pull out the Steelbook too, so I have 2 copies. This is the 4K version, and this one is Scream Factory, and it actually goes for about, under $10 on Amazon, so if you guys want to check this one out. I believe it's about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe even less. This is just a really, really fun slasher. It's pretty much everything you would expect with the title Slumber Party Massacre, but there's a lot of great qualities to this, like the scenery, the atmosphere, the characters you're invested in. They all seem like real friends, and this is a killer that will surprise you once you watch this movie, that he didn't have like sequels. There's 2 sequels to the Slumber Party Massacre without giving spoilers, but the original killer, Russell Thorne, is not in the sequels. But either way, I would highly suggest checking these out. Like I said, this standard Blu-ray from Scream Factory is under $10, I believe. $10 most. So definitely pick this one up if you've never seen it. This is arguably a more commonly known horror movie, which is ironic because it's independent, but that is The Barn. This is a little newer. I think it came out in the last 5 years. I meant to do a review on this, but this movie is amazing. It has a lot of elements into it, like if you've ever seen Trick or Treat, the anthology film, where there's actual fables and hints and stories of Halloween. There's rules to Halloween in this movie, and the 3 killers, villains, or whatever you want to call them, are very iconic. This is known as a passion project by the writer-director Justin Seaman, and I was blown away when I first seen this movie. I still plan on doing a review. Check this one out. It's just not talked about enough, you know what I'm saying? Alright, this is one I'm sure you guys have heard about. This gets a lot of hate. Full Moon. Full Moon gets a lot of hate in general. It's kind of lower budget horror. Not quite trauma level, but that is Demonic Toys. Now, I'm probably a little biased about this because I grew up as a kid watching... Everyone grew up as a kid, but I grew up as a kid watching this movie with my sister, and we loved it. This is kind of a Child's Play ripoff in a way, but it is so much fun. It's all over the place, but there's never a minute of boredom. This is top-notch shit right here, Full Moon. This is probably my favorite full moon movie ever made. I'll put that over all the Puppet Master movies and everything. Yeah, man, if you want something off the walls bonkers, this one does not let you down. Last but not least, one I guess I never opened this one before, and this is the most mainstream one I will mention. It is Halloween 3. Now, I was in the same boat when I was younger, because this doesn't have Michael Myers in it. The original story was they wanted to create different stories for each new Halloween, different boogeyman and whatnot, because obviously the second Halloween movie follows right where the first one left off, and this was their first, opportunity to try to switch it up and whatnot. But this movie is unbelievable. I think if you take out the idea that there's no Michael Myers, you would like it more. This has Tom Atkins in it, and probably his best role ever. And I think, this movie gets so much hate. If you look at like Friday the 13th Part 5, it's not Jason, it's Roy. So why can we just watch that one and love it so much? That's one of the most loved horror movies in that whole franchise, which I personally don't care for, but we're going to shit on Halloween Part 3? Okay, I'll take Tom Atkins over any of that shit all day long, because I don't really care for 5. 4 and 6 are the best Tommy Jarvis editions. 5 sucks. But anyways, Part 3, this is incredible. Like I said, if you put aside the fact that Michael Myers isn't in this and just watch it for the story, this is one of the best Halloween movies you'll ever see. Not just literal with the title, but for the season of Halloween. Season of the Witch, right? So, yeah, this one is great too. Yeah, so that's 5 horror movies I think are very, very underrated. I love all these movies. Am I a little biased? Sure. But we're all biased in our opinions, and every one of you guys have a right to be biased with your opinion as well. But if you haven't seen any of these 5 movies, at least pick one and check it out. I'm sure you can find at least one of these 5 on some form of a streaming platform. And like I said, these aren't very expensive on Amazon. Pretty much any of these titles are all pretty reasonably priced. But as Halloween approaches, I hope you guys give a little more leeway for movies you've heard certain things about and give one of these 5 movies a chance. And other than that, watch some spooky shit. One of these 5, Blood Guts Gore. I'll check you guys next time.